smells so good. You okay? Aloha. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So I'm out here bright and early today because I want to get the video shot and recorded for all of you guys. I have a busy weekend ahead, so I thought if I don't come out today, if I come out later on, it'll be a bit darker, you won't be able to see much. So let me get everything done today. Let me show you around, but before I do that, the reason why I don't have my cup in my hand is because I'm letting it brew. That nettle that you saw, I actually harvested from just in the backyard, and I dried it yesterday. I was looking for ways to dry it. I didn't want to hang it because we don't really have anywhere to hang that is dark enough, and I also didn't want to we don't have a dehydrator just yet either. So I thought, what's the best way for me to do this? And the best way for me to do this was to put it in the air fryer. So I put it in the air fryer, the halogen one, for about 200 for 5 minutes, and it just crisped it up. Lots of the leaves are still a bit green, so I know that there's still a bit of nutrition in there. They smell amazing. It smells so good. There's nothing I can liken the smell to, but it smells so good. So good. So let me just show you around the garden whilst the tea's brewing, and then see what I've been up to. Let's go. Just before we go ahead as well, I do apologize about the barking. He has to live his life too, you know, and this is the only time I can do this. So let's see how it goes, and I will bring the phone a bit closer to me so you can hear the recording more. But thank you for your patience. Let's go. Oh, another thing. Just before I show you this garden tour, what I'll do is I'll insert clips of earlier on in the week, a few days ago, where I actually, no, in fact, this was last week after the last garden tour. I rearranged a few things, I brought the pots in, I did lots in the garden. So I'll show you that, because I know the last garden tour, I told you that it was so messy, there was so much to do. I got things done. I did a lot. So let me show you what that was like before we get into this week's video. Let's do it. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Guys, look at what I just discovered. Look at this. I know there's an anthill underneath, but I never imagined they'd come out on top. Look, they're now trying to take their eggs underneath. Now they realize that no, there's an invader. There's something happening here. Look, they might be queens. Look at this. They're now transporting all their babies inside. I need to lift this because there's no way I can let this go on. So I'm just going to lift this up so that they can transport what they need to transport underneath, because I've never seen this before. So interesting. Let me give them some time, because if I put this underneath, they'll think it's okay to live here, and it's not okay. It's not okay. Still watching them, look at them just moving all their eggs. They're not fascinating. I don't want to destroy them. I'm just going to let them do their thing because forgiveness. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how the animal kingdom, or we're supposed to be living with the animal kingdom. So this is what the garden looks like. I'm doing a quick recap before I change it all around. I found an ant nest. I know there's one underneath, but I've never seen them lay their eggs out like that. But they're just packing their eggs away. And I'm taking time just to show you what I've done. I've already made a herb area, so that'll be so easy to catch all the water in the summer as well. After about 15 minutes, there is one big egg left. This is what they do best. Then what I'll do is I will then brush all the soil into the gaps. Look at them. They work so hard. So hard. So this is what our garden now looks like. This is prep for the season. I'll show you everything that's going on back there by the nets and everything that's going on here as well. The outside is pretty much unchanged. It's just the main backyard. So let's go. So going to start from this corner. As you can tell, it's no longer the herb corner that's moved. The only reason why I did that is because this side gets the most sun throughout the day, and this side where the herbs now are gets the morning sun. As you can tell, the sun is trying to come over, so they'll get the morning sun, they'll be shaded, they'll be by the broccoli, etc, etc. Wait, more on that later. Let's go back to here. So here we now have some very impermanent solutions. So the dandelion, I still haven't removed it just yet, because another reason was I was trying to find a way to dry it sufficiently, and this will now be the air fryer. I used the air fryer before and it's worked for dandelion coffee, so whatever roots I get, I will use the dandelion for. The air fryer for. The yarrow, my plan is to cut it all back and air fry it as well, just so I can preserve it for tea and use the pots for something else later in the season. The lavender, the hope has gone. It really, and do you know how I know the hope has gone? Because the wood is just breaking off like this. This is dead wood. There's no resistance to my snap. It's just, this is dead wood now. So the plant is dead, but it's fine. It served me well. And I've just heard a pigeon. Mama, our sweet mama. Look at all the strawberries that are coming, guys. Look, there's already some here. So good. Oh, this plant is so good, and tall as well. Very tall, very big. If I find the variety, I'll put it there, but I've had it for years. I don't remember the variety. And some of the strawberries are super sweet, where some are not as sweet, but very juicy. Big strawberries, sweet and juicy. Okay, going here, as you can tell, still work in progress, still got lots of pots left. I was so blessed actually because I thought I needed more pots than I actually did. So one way, sorry about that, just a second, I was just doing something else. So one way that I wanted to minimize on my costs for this garden was to use the pots that I already had. So before I went out and bought pots, that's why last week I tidied, because I knew that I needed to take stock of what I have to avoid overbuying, overspending. So I took stock of what I had, and I realized I had a lot more pots than I give myself credit for. And especially because I grew lots of things, hoping they will all grow, but not all of them did, as I suspected. So I now have lots of pots still left over. I bought 6 more of the grey tubs, which I'll show you very soon, because they have served me so well. And the rest, I just use what I have, and I'll keep potting up as and when the plants are like going. So for example, I'll succession sow some plants in June, July, ready for the winter. And they will go into the places, by the time they grow, they'll go to the places where the other plants are dying off. For example, tomatoes by October, peppers, etc, etc. So yeah, I've got a good system here. I'm so proud. I'm doing good this year. I've done really, really well. I'm proud of myself. So on this section, let's just get started. This is a butterfly F1, and it's definitely not going to survive from what I can see. I thought I had hope because I saw some new growth here, but it's not going to survive, and that's fine because I planted 8 more butternut squash plants. So if this one doesn't survive, it's completely fine. I might put a tomato in here because the rest of these 3, 1, 2, and 3 will have tomatoes, and I just happen to have 7 tomato seedlings. So this could be a tomato, flower, and basil pot, and I could just let it, I'll put some trellis there and let it trellis up. More than happy with that. I've got the figs as well. They're also growing. I don't know what happened here, but it doesn't really bother me because I just know that they will bounce back. They're growing actively, so I'm not worried at all. And this one is also growing beautifully. It's got some weeds, which I'll just remove like so. This looks like dandelion. Let me get there. Some smaller weeds as well. Let me just remove them whilst I'm here. And then we've got the strawberries, the babies, well, no longer babies. This one, I knew it will come back, and it's coming back, which I love. This one is already setting fruit. So big, so beautiful. This one has already set fruit. Some more at the bottom there, and more flowers are coming. This one, the situation's exactly the same. I don't know why this is furled. Why is this furled? Which animal is living in here? I don't know, but I won't be living in there any longer. I'll bring it out like that, then throw it over the fence. I've got some strawberries as well. So far, I've got 1, 2, 3. There's another plant in here as well that's growing. So 3 strawberries, 4, 5, 6. Let's see from the mum. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 strawberries. 12. Have I counted that one? I don't think so. 12. And the season hasn't properly started yet. How amazing is that? Oh, they're going to be so juicy. I need to find something I can add to the strawberries to sweeten them, because that will make a huge difference. Perhaps there's some kind of feed. I've had coffee grounds, but I haven't really researched. So research that, make them a bit sweeter, and that's it. The peppers are also growing. I fed them the manure, and that served me well because the leaves are now growing back better. In all honesty, I think these leaves are all splotchy because I kept them by the sink and they might have had water, water going on them, but it's okay. They are coming back, and we've got peppers coming. I still don't know what they are. They might be the chambord, which is the like the long red pepper, because of the way they're growing. We have lots more fruit set here as well. We've got some of the back there, just behind that leaf. So we won't run out of peppers from these plants anyway. And I pray they get bigger and bigger throughout the season and keep producing for me, well, for us. So yeah, I'm so happy with them. And I was going to cut these bits off, but as you can see, a leaf has grown from here, so might just leave them and see what they do. Moving on to this side, guys, I was busy. I was very busy last week. Let me just save this melon plants. So from here, look at these babies, guys. I'm praying they survive. These are 3 cucumbers that I transplanted perhaps a bit too early. I was just eager to get them out of their small pots, but perhaps it was a bit too early. But I'm not too upset if they don't grow, only because I've got 3 cucumbers there. I can use this for squash plants as well, and I could also use it for any other plants that I buy from the supermarkets, like new varieties that I want to try, something fun. So I'm not mad that they're not growing or they're not going to grow. I don't mind at all, because we've got so much more produce that have already been established and are growing. We've got some courgettes as well. So initially we had 5, but as you can tell, I've pulled one out already because it was just gone. There was no hope of survival. So I just pulled that one out. This one, there's a slight hope. You know, this leaf hasn't quite shriveled yet, so it might have survived the transplant shock. I'll leave it for now. And these 3, I have high hopes that they will produce courgettes for us. And 3 plants will be enough. If I'm being honest with you, 3 courgette plants will be enough. I also transplanted some pepper seedlings. So that is the Sweetonia at the back. As you can tell, only 3 survived, and like I said, that will be enough. And I've got 2 of the, I believe this is the Sweet Tasty. There's still more Sweet Tasty coming. These are all empty for now. And this has Bonica aubergines. And these are the ones that are going to go in the other 6 planters that I bought, because I want them front and center, with flowers behind beside them, with basil. So we've got lots of basil, because I want to make not just pesto, but just basil sauces in general to save for the winter period. We love basil, we love pesto, we love pasta. So yes, that's something that I want to do a lot this summer. And basil with mozzarella and tomato in summer is just peak summer. That is peak tasty in summer. It's so good. So yes, I want to grow lots of basil. I'll show you the basil soon as well. Before we move on though, got all of these new sowings. Yes, I sowed all of these yesterday. So we've got some purple sprouting broccoli. I don't know why I'm coming close, because you can't see them. They only went in yesterday. But purple sprouting broccoli. I've got some Italian parsley. Got coriander, marjoram, dill. Got 2 beans. Yes, that's my 4th sowing of beans. And at this point, I'm just thinking the seeds just are not viable. But I don't know why they wouldn't be viable, because they're just beans. If you understand. If you understand me, they're just beans. It's not like they're special seed. They are the beans that we eat. So I just think that I left them inside when the soil was too cold, etc, etc. So hopefully whilst they're out here, they'll do something. That's my 4th sowing of beans, and hopefully they germinate. I can see one kind of popping out there. I need to double check if I need to cover that, but let me leave them alone. I've got squash, 2 butternut squashes with 8 plants altogether, so 4 in each. Moving on to the seedlings before we go anywhere else. And what I've realized with the seedlings is that next year I'm going to sow a lot more in January. Oh my gosh, January. Imagine by this time all these plants will be huge. Even the melons that I sowed, I think it was early March, late Feb, they are big. So imagine if I got everything out in January under a heat mat. Oh my gosh, the excitement. So that's what I'm thinking next year. And I'll put the table out and get everything out for January. Exciting. Let me show you what they've done so far. These are later sowings, but they've still thrived. And being out here, everything has acclimatized to the weather, and the ones that have died, but this is why we sow more than we need. So let me take you. Before I take you, I remembered my tea. Look at that gorgeous nettle. Everything is sprung and they're full again. I'm just going to pour out this light tea, so tasty as well, and then carry it around the garden. Smells so good. It's got like it's not a grassy smell. It smells very sweet, like sweet hay. It smells so good. So good. 1 minute. 1 minute with my tea. So these are the seedlings that are still here. I'll just take you through them. So this is the pepper. These are the peppers, should I say. Oh, I've got 3. So the purple ones, they are black pearl, and they look ornamental. They produce round pearls. Go figure. And then they turn from black to red, so that's going to be fun. And we've got 3 more of the sweet tasty coming out there. Okay, so we don't have a lot of sweetonia left. Okay, we have sweet tasty, not sweetonia. That's still fine. And yeah, 3 black pearls. So that means the paper lantern didn't germinate at all, which is fine. I'll throw lots in next year and see if any germinate. If not, it's fine. This, I suspect, is a beetroot in with the echinacea, but who am I to judge, eh? I'll leave it and see. And all this is echinacea. I'll put them in the smaller pots, maybe in these rounds, actually, because I'm not using them for the, for the parsley and coriander anymore. So I might put them in here, because then they can be perennials and live in here until I don't need them anymore. That's a good idea. I'll do that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2 smaller ones. So 4 in each pot. And I know they get very, very big, but it's fine because they'll grow to the size of the container they're in. So that's fine by me. And then we've got the tomatoes, very, very eager, growing lots. They were all this size when I brought them out last week, or was it the week before? It was last week. And now they are huge, especially this one. It's growing so big. This one is a little bit small, but it's okay. I can leave this in here to grow and then use that in the black pots that I mentioned earlier on. So that's fine by me. Got some basil growing. This basil, because it was I think this might, you know what, this basil was a weird one because it came out of the opal basil seeds, and obviously the one next to it is opal because you can see the color, but this one came out of the same seed packet, but it's not purple. So it might just be that maybe cross-pollination, I'm not sure, but I'll still grow it. I might put the opal and this one in with that small tomato to form a guild. That would be nice. The Precoccia kale hasn't germinated, either of them. I think that's another one over there, hasn't germinated. The curly kale has, they're growing beautifully. I'm just going to leave them alone in this pot until they get huge, and then I can try and transplant them. The other basils have all survived. They're growing gorgeously. I love that. I might just turn this around a little bit because it might not be, this tiny one here might not be getting enough sun. Don't know why it wouldn't be, but it looks quite small. So we've got so many basil plants to go out for our basil adventures later in the year. And then this is curly kale. It's growing beautifully. I can see some scald there, but that's fine because we've got fresh leaves coming, so I'm happy with that. The rest, we've got one spinach that survived. It nearly didn't. Then I pushed it back in the ground, well, in the soil, and it looks like it's going to survive. The physalis, I can't see any progress at all, so the seeds might not be viable, but it's okay. I tried. And this looks like it might have been eaten. Oh no, oh no, hello. This, yeah, not viable. That was a market more cucumber, and I thought, oh, we have one market more cucumber, but no, we have a 0. 0. And here we have a courgette that didn't make it, but that's fine. We live. Oh, actually, it could have made it, but no. The roots look, sorry, let me show you properly. The roots look okay, but the actual leaf system is gone completely, so that's a no-go. That's fine. And we have lots of poached eggplants. Yet again, I'm not transplanting them until they fill this pot, and they're begging me to move them, because otherwise, the mistake that happened last time was they outgrew, they did outgrow, sorry, the egg containers that we're in. I thought, oh, let me move them, but then when I moved them to something this size, they all died back because the roots weren't developed enough. But now they look fine there, so I'm just going to leave them. The calendula is also growing beautifully. Look at this, we've got lots of new leaves coming, so I'm going to leave this one in here as well, and then when I'm ready to transplant them with the aubergines, I will do just that. Just check the time, and I still have some time. I still have about 20 minutes before I need to go in. So just showing you what I did here. So this was my attempt, to prevent the pigeons from decimating the fruits. And whilst I've been out here, I've just kind of opened it up a bit because I don't want the blueberries to not be pollinated. Even though I know that they can get in, because these have been pollinated. These are fine, but the ones back here, they still have a lot of their flowers, and I just want the bees to be able to find them. The rest of the plants are growing beautifully, as you can tell, without the disturbance from the pigeons. And I have seen them trying to come back in here. They just kind of hop over here or over there. Okay, that's not a pigeon, but yeah, they just hop and wait, and then when I'm upstairs in my office, I just shoo them. Like, I just shoo them, and they tend to go. But yes, this is my makeshift solution, and I got this netting from Amazon. It cost me, I think it was £11 or maybe more, because I probably bought the bigger size just so I can have extra. And so far so good. It's really worked well. Just showing you everything. The hosta, it's beautiful as always. I'm going to transplant it though, because it's filling out this pot, so I know it needs a bigger pot. So after the season, after the flowers die back, I'll transplant it again. And look, the black currants, it's bushed out beautifully, so beautiful. And the other currants are also growing nicely. And these, even though they were decimated, are still filling out, so I'm happy about that. Not much to say really with the currants. They came out very early. This whole patch actually, blueberries, currants, they tend to flower early, set their fruits, and then swell up during the summer. And then that's for the blueberries at least. The currants, they will swell up during the spring and then start ripening for the summer. So I love that about them. The garden. Okay, moving on to this patch. So this is where the rhubarb is. Rhubarb, still growing beautifully. I've harvested a lot of stalks, but it's still growing for me. Ooh, but the buddleia, I think animals have taken over. All these closed leaves, make me think that animals are in there laying eggs, protecting their babies, protecting their young from me. And I'll give them that for now, because I don't need to destroy the buddleia just to save it, or to destroy a few animals. Let me leave them in there, see what's happening. Yeah, look. I'll keep monitoring this. I'll keep monitoring. Moving on, we've got lots of raspberry leaves going, and I will harvest them this year. Well, this week, sorry. Now that this year, can you imagine? This week, now that I have realized, I found out a way to actually, hold on, I'm trying to get this up. You can see underneath. Not that it makes much of a difference. Let me just leave it alone. So yeah, now that I found a way to dehydrate them for tea, I'm going to come in and harvest a lot of these, just to free up some space for the plants as well, especially when it comes to fruiting or setting flowers, so that the bees can see it. That's my plan. And back here, look at the tayberries. They've already started swelling, so at least we're going to get some tayberries this year. Can't wait to try them. Never tried them, so I'm excited for that. The loganberries are the same. They've also started flowering, as you can tell, in there, back there. And this is really good, because look at all these different insects not being able to penetrate. So I'm very happy with the buy. I still haven't staked the gooseberries, but you can tell that some of them are swelling in there, and they're not being eaten, which was the whole purpose of this netting. So I'm very happy with that. I also tidied this area a little bit. I hate like corners that look dark and shady, so I cleared it out, and the blackberry is free to roam where it does. Wherever it wants to go, it's free to roam. And I'm just gonna pop you in here for some loganberry flowers. Oh gosh, I just felt a raindrop. Right, let's get a move on. Let's go. So back here, same story. Everything is growing. Got Jenny growing beautifully. Oh look, she started climbing. How cute. So cute. I might just trail this over here just so that it starts climbing there as well. Oh, we'll be so happy to get some kiwis. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? That was a pigeon, guys. I need to go and cover the nets. The grapes as well. They are growing. I will buy more bamboo and figure out the trellising for them. But now that they're back against this wall, I'm very happy, because their leaves can then just sprawl, and then I can get some more information about how to grow them properly, and then hopefully look after them properly, because they have really not suffered at my hand, but they've tried. They've been with me for a while, and I need to find a way to look after them. And even if I can't look after them properly this year for them to fruit, at least there are domades. No, this is, you see, this thing got me excited last year, because I thought they were grapes, but I don't think they are. I think it's just more leaf. So let me hold my excitement, because I remember I got excited last year and there were no grapes. So let me hold my excitement. Let me focus on figs. So these are the two different figs. You see, in just a few weeks, all the leaves have come out, and they are growing beautifully. There's an animal in here. Or is it just the way it's grown? See, this is what makes me curious, and I open it and then I just scream. Let me leave it for now. Ew. Ew. But look at this fig. Wow. How stunning. Oh my goodness. So pretty. And we have the figlet. Still there, still going strong. I'm not able to focus in on that. I don't know why, but oh yeah, there we go. Don't want to touch it too much. If a bird, oh, I just had a vision of a bird coming to pluck it. Gosh, I need to put a net around this. If a bird just so, oh my gosh, the way I would scream. I would just scream. I would scream. But let's not think dark thoughts. Light, happy thoughts. Light, happy thoughts. So we've got the cherry. Ladybirds are still doing their thing. Cherry is swelling. The fact that there's a cherry. And there's another one back there as well, just there. I need to get those mini, gift bags and just tie them around the tree or the plants or the fruits, sorry, because I want to eat these. Even if they're only 3 or 4, I still want to eat them. The apple tree has got lots and lots of leaves, and I'm just going to leave it because it did really try for me last year, and I will still get some fruits. I think we've got like 3 apples, and hopefully because it's only these 3 fruits, they'll be big and juicy. So I'm excited for that. The pear tree is still going strong. Still got some pears on there. Got 3 there. We have 4. Yeah, 4 in total, I think. And these flowers, I don't know if... Oh, they might survive. Oh, no. Nope. Fruit drop. Well, I made them drop, but we'll still have more here, though. Oh, yeah, we might have a lot this year. So let me just give it some time. The crab apple tree, as you can tell, some flowers are still there, but I've got lots of these potential crab apples. So excited. What I might do is I might see the kind of feed or food that apples like. If they like rich soil, for example, if farmyard manure will help it, I'm just going to come back and feed. Same with the pears, all the fruit trees, just feed them now, just so that as they're setting the fruits, they have enough nutrients in the pot to make them full and delicious. I've already mentioned the fruit trees in pots especially, they rely on us as gardeners to feed them, because they can't soak down their roots into the soil and spread them out and get as much nutrients as they need to grow. So one thing that I wanted to do this year, as I mentioned previously, was feed them, just so that they can produce good quality fruit and nice sizes as well, and so that we can have some to harvest and share. So that's something I'm going to do this year, definitely. Before we go as well, just a shout out to my experiment. I do need to stir this, but it's got lots of weeds in there, just breaking down for extra nutrition, and then I'll use that to feed the plants in the summer, the ones that need nitrogen, the big boost as well. I've just seen this is blackberry, and these are going to be blackberries. That is interesting. So if these plants are already about to flower, that means that mine is not far off. Very happy about that. Now we're done with the back garden. Let me take you inside and show you, well, let me take you outside again and show you the front garden. Let's go. Just before I go out into the front garden, I know that once I come back in, that's it. I'm going to spend time with hubby before he goes to work. So this is my sign-off call in the beautiful back garden. Oh my goodness, pigeon. What did I tell you guys? There's one there. There's one in that tree there. Not even in the tree. Guys, you see evidence. They're gone. You see? If I had just gone out, they would have come in. They would have done their thing and just decimated. Not possible. Not in this life. No thank you, sir. No thank you, ma'am. Nope. Covered. Thank God. Jesus is so good to me. So good to me. He's good to pigeons as well, but they have other sources of food. Look, it hasn't even gone. It's waiting for me to leave. You're not going to get anything. No, sir. No, ma'am. They are covered. I'm going to put that weight over the... Yes. God is so good. This is stewardship, guys, this is stewardship. I'm not being mean, I'm just stewarding. Oh, I almost forgot. Look, so all this is kohlrabi, and then all this is beetroot. It has like a taproot, so all that's beetroot. All this is beetroot as well. The back is beetroot, of course. I harvested some of the herbs for mixed herbs, so I dried them. So yeah, this is the section. I almost forgot this, but here we are. I'm going to give them a quick water as well later on, but this is the section of the garden. This is the garden. The pigeons have disappeared for now, but I know their time in me. But it's okay because it's covered, and it's raining. So let's go to the front garden, and then I'll see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. I know I had a lot more than last week's because I added the footage from last Saturday. But thank you for joining me. I'll see you later. Cheers. God bless. We're out now in the front garden. Have a look at this. The rhododendrons are coming out. They might need some more water. Let's see, because the soil feels fine. Yeah, they don't need water. They might just be taking some time to perk up. These ones look really good though. And the gorgeous smoke bush. Oh my gosh. How stunning. Just a week, maybe 2. I'll show you all the bristles. Looking so good. Look at that colour. So stunning. And then we've got more of the rhododendron. So pretty. And they've had ericaceous this year as well, so I know they're happy. And I'll top them off when the flowers go so that the roots can get more. And they could probably do with the bigger pots, but it's okay. I'm happy. I'm fine with that. Just seen some bindweed as well. So this bindweed is from Bristol when I used to live there. And it has lived in this pot for years. And it looks like it's still living in there. I might leave it to grow actually because I know the flowers are edible. This even might be edible. Let me take it into the kitchen. I'll research it later. And here we've got the mahonia. So beautiful. My husband. So beautiful. And it's growing nice and sharp. This side is also growing a little bit as well. And as has this side. Getting bigger and bigger. It must be happy in the pot. I know it probably would like more room, but it's happy for now, and that's what matters. Got a plethora of got 4 different edibles just there. Dandelion, horsetail, herb robert, and nettle. Free food. The mock oranges are also happier now. I gave them some water. They are thriving. Still got lots of herb robert, which I'm going to harvest soon, but not yet. And they look like they're going to flower very soon as well. Still got dandelion leaves everywhere. Lots of herb roberts. So yeah, this is the front garden, guys. Going back inside just so I can start work, and I'll research what I can do with this because it reminds me of sweet potato vines, and I know the flowers are edible, so perhaps the greens are edible too. If they are, bonus. I'll just let it grow and harvest them as and when we need them. Woo! Looked up the bindweed, and it said that while some parts of the bindweed are edible, it's considered a low value, potentially risky source, so that is not being eaten. You can also see an aphid on there, and it's going straight into the food waste bin. Bye bye, bindweed. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. God bless. Bye.